The OAMnetwork.com.
Power to the podcast.
Millennials, a lit ass podcast.
Hey y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Before we get started, we want to say on this day, 200 years ago, President Andrew Jackson visited this sacred ground and was immediately reminded of Memphis and Egypt. With that being said, Memphis, happy 200th birthday, man.
Hey.
How was that for my Memphis accent?
No.
Stop. Wait, that was a Memphis.
That's that bicentennial, man.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dear Millennials, a lit ass podcast. Make sure you search us on Facebook at Dear Millennials, Instagram, follow us at Dear Millennials _. All right, Twitter at D Millennials Pod, YouTube Dear Millennials Podcast. You can find us on Apple, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play. If you have any booking, sponsorship, other donations, or any other type of inquiries, make sure you email us, dearmillennialspodcast@gmail.com. All right, it's your boy, Top Rank Marvin Frank, singer-songwriter, student to the game, homie, lover, friend. I heard they upped the ante on R. Kelly's child support.
They did.
No, did you see it? It was on say
Yeah.
wrong.
They trying to get over there.
Trying to strip you for my paper.
You know, South Memphis stand up. It's your boy, Mac Love, and got these chicks straight out the oven. Educated, motivated, dark skin, drinking hen. Teacher, preacher, got your girl dying laughing, calling me the Grim Reaper or Gorilla Pimp.
It's crazy that my friends refer to you as the Grim Reaper. Like they need
we're
No, I'm like Grim Reaper. His name is McLovin or DeMarcus. Damn it.
No, she gave it go.
Sorry, it's your girl Mary Jane, Georgia Raised Memphis Pay, book club creator, the woman storyteller, and your favorite around the way girl.
And y'all already know who it is. It's your girl OPP, aka South Memphis Queen, also known as the Memphis Finest.
And together we are Dear Millennials, a lit ass podcast. Shout out to Gil over there on the soundboards, the owner of OAM Network here at Cross Sound Concourse here in Memphis, Tennessee. So happy to be here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, you're in for such a great show. Welcome to episode 14. Does America hate women? And since a man can't make one, he has no right to tell a woman when and where to create one. All right, the words of Tupac. Yeah, you know what? You know, and I'm really good at impersonations. I slide out though. It's cool. Words of Tupac Amaru Shakur. With so much controversy surrounding anti-abortion laws. All right, yo, it's time to read in between the lines. That's what we plan on doing today. All right, why are men making laws about a woman's body? Does America hate women? All right, do anti-abortion laws scold and discipline more than men? Does it not take two to tango? All right, we'll be opening up the phone lines at 901-457-4677, and we'll be calling and receiving calls. We'll be receiving calls from you. Do you agree or disagree with laws banning abortions? All right, but before we get into that, it's now time for the top 10 DM commandments.
All right, so let's jump in. If you're familiar with the show, you already know how it goes down. Commandment number 1, thou shalt not what? Support Trump.
Fuck no.
Be on the lookout on our shirt for that. We need y'all to go ahead and purchase these shirts. We don't want him running for this next election. So moving forward,
I saw a bumper sticker that said "Make America Great Again."
It's real.
Again. All right, number 2.
Number 2, thou shalt wash every inch of your body. All right, so there was a Facebook debate on how there's like a challenge of what do you wash? Do you let the water and the soap just wash down to your feet, or do you actually bend over and wash your feet? This is sad that we're actually even talking about this.
You got to get in between the crevices,
man.
You have to, and I'm talking about on the feet.
All right, if you let the water,
oh man,
if you let the water and the soap just rinse down from your body to your feet, that's freaking nasty.
I wonder what they did in the medieval times when I don't even think was soap in existence? Were there like fragrance type soap?
Was toothpaste in existence? Did they brush their teeth?
But I think the lifespan was shorter too, wasn't it? I don't know.
What it was what?
No, never mind. All right, number 3. Thou shalt attend an HBCU and get your student loans paid for. All right, shout out to good brother Robert F. Smith. All right, good brother, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. He was the spring 2019 commencement speaker, and he committed to paying off student loans for Morehouse's graduation class of 2019.
That's what's up.
It is.
That's why.
Man, the memes are hilarious over this though. I'm about to go find me a Morehouse man. That was one of the memes. I always loved Morehouse men. So hey.
Okay.
I'm from Atlanta.
That sounds like a subliminal message to those.
Whatever. I've never dated a Morehouse man, so we can leave it there. All right, moving on to commandment number 4. Thou shalt pray over your future spouse. This is very important, you guys. I actually am going on a 30-day fast and prayer over my future family starting June 1.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, let's see how this goes, guys. I'm not sure what I'm going to give up, but I definitely know that I need to be praying.
So, for example, let's say you were to give up alcohol, you wouldn't drink alcohol until you meet your husband.
No, for that month of prayer.
Oh.
Right?
Are you praying for a man during that time?
No, I'm praying over my family.
Oh,
my
over
future
your family.
over that time, yeah.
So for your future husband?
My future husband and my kids.
That's what's up.
Focusing on them for a month.
Why just a month?
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to create the practice because I've been doing it in the past, but I had always stop and return. I need to make sure that it is something that's consistent.
I got you. Small stuff. I feel you.
Quick question, Mary Jane. Was this inspired by Sierra? Because she dropped her prayer.
I've been doing this for a while. I have an actual prayer book for my kids and my husband.
Oh, okay.
Y'all better get y'all a Mary Jane.
She wouldn't let us see it. So
whoever her boo is, she's praying
you created your own prayers in particular, or are you just
whatever comes to mind.
From the book of Psalms.
I feel like it's very important. You don't have the husband yet in my experience. You don't have the kids, but it's very important that you're making sure that you're lining who they become, or just you're shielding them for who they shouldn't become or what you want for them to, become. I mean, hey.
Got you.
Okay.
Break generational curses as well.
You a good one. All right. Number 5. Thou shalt write a review on our Facebook page or Apple Podcast.
Thank you.
Yo, thank you to everybody that has already written a fantabulous review. We're more than humbled and appreciative of it on Facebook and Apple. So thank you for the 5 stars. All right. Encourage a friend to do it as well. So thank you so much.
Commandment number 6 in my favorite because I was so heartbroken. Thou shalt stop popping up with babies. All right, this goes for Trey Songz and all you other what's the proper word? Men. I ain't gonna say the other word.
She said
all you other men that just be coming out of nowhere, just be posting pictures of babies' feet and everything. Come on, that is not cool. Just like how a woman can't hide it, men should not be able to hide it either. It's so unfair that all of a sudden on social media, boom, I got a baby. What the heck?
A real response commandment to that needs to be, thou shalt understand. In the words of Drake's Scorpion album, I wasn't hiding my kid from the world. I was hiding the world from my kid.
That's some BS. Men always got a damn excuse.
Mary Jane, if you're a celebrity, you're choosing for that child to become a public figure without even acknowledging how they may feel about it. They may grow up to not want to be in that spotlight.
Well, first,
and he doesn't owe anybody anything.
I ain't looking.
You're not his woman.
That's an excuse.
And his fans aren't either.
Okay, his woman was a porn star.
Okay,
and that's why he was hiding. Exactly. I had a big time porn star, and I can't hide it no more.
You ain't never made a flick.
Okay.
You ain't never made a flick.
I'm just saying though.
What?
Answer
up.
Men have to do this.
Hold up.
Boom,
Wait a
I got a
minute.
post. I got a baby too.
Did you answer Marvin's question?
didn't
I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it. Keep it
Can
going.
we please, y'all, keep going? So why don't you, Mom, maybe he didn't want to share his child because the woman that he's having a child by is, not the,
Well, okay, look,
Woman that
this
he wanted to have
commandment
a
was more geared towards just people popping up with babies. Come on now, if you expected somebody and you are known to post on social media, just go ahead and throw in there that you about to have a child.
All I'm gonna say is I understand.
Just throw it in there.
I
Even if you're not with the woman, just throw it in there.
Yeah, but I understand that. But when you do that, you put people in your business, and there have been plenty of situations where people have posted children,
Men
finding out it
always
wasn't
have an
even there.
excuse,
Yeah.
ladies.
That's some real stuff.
Men
So I need
always
to-
have a damn excuse.
But also,
posting
man,
kids that's not theirs? Who
Well,
that
I mean,
happens
if
to?
they later find out that like if they're not in a relationship with that person, or if they're not married, sometimes people are hesitant to doing stuff like
But
that.
let me tell you this also: being a celebrity, man, and letting people know your weakness, meaning your child, or they have the chance to harm you.
Okay, what about the other men who aren't celebrities?
them too. You know what I'm saying?
All right, moving on to commandment number 7.
All right, number 7, thou shalt wash your chicken.
Yes, this is true.
If you watch the Breakfast Club interview with Dr. Oz, he made a claim that you're actually spreading salmonella if you decide to wash your chicken before cooking.
Can I interrupt? These people who believe that you are actually spreading salmonella, okay, maybe my context doesn't work, but are you not washing your sink down with bleach, for one? and for two, I don't care what you say. I'm still alive. My grandparents were still alive throughout their lives. Salmonella was not the cause of their death. And I'm still going to scrub my chicken with lemon. I'm still going to soak it in some salt and water, maybe even dazzle it in some vinegar. I'm still gonna clean my chicken.
That's what I'm saying.
So you hard.
I'm gonna debate it too. I'm gonna debate it
That's
too.
nasty. You're taking the chicken out of the pack and just cooking it?
But understand that the heat
No.
kills all the germs
No.
anyway.
You're gonna wash that chicken off. I never eat at your
I'm gonna
house.
do something to it. Right. I'm gonna do
No.
something to it.
Don't get me wrong.
You gotta take the fat off it. You gotta take the film off it.
Thank
It's a
you.
lot of stuff that you gotta take off chicken.
Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't
served
wash
a lot of dirty
your
chicken
chicken.
in
That's
my
all I'm saying. But
but you saying you still gonna kill it.
No, I'm still gonna clean it. But let's keep moving.
All right. Commandment number 8: thou shalt be patient. Your first offer is not always the best.
Man.
And McLovin got something that I can't hear right now. I'm just gonna take my headphones off. I'm still on Game of Thrones season 2.
So, this is a reference towards
can still hear.
Bryn the Broken. Bryn came into the show, then being crippled, then became the 3-hour Raven, and his offer was, "Hey, look, you can be King of Winterfell." Bryn then says, "Nope, I don't want to be King of Winterfell. I am the 3-hour Raven." So then at the end of the season of 8, Bryn the Broken then comes back and was like, "I'm gonna be on the throne. This is my spot. I'm gonna be on the Iron Throne." So don't take the first opportunity, because there's greater things coming afterwards.
Man, did you say Brenda?
Bryn the Broken.
Who is Brenda?
Oh, I thought you said
Bryn
Brenda.
is the boy.
I'm about to say, did she have a baby?
Who was pushed out the window?
Oh my gosh! Can he walk?
No, he's crippled.
Oh dang, he's
That's
still
why
crippled. I was hoping he was still going to be able
so
to
lame.
walk eventually.
I hate that they gave him
I'm in
that name.
season 2.
Bryn the Broken. That
So does he actually look like an adult by now?
yeah.
Y'all, I'm still in season 2.
Spoiler alert.
Hey, but
I've never
I
seen
like
the show.
for this situation. I want to know what's about to happen, because they just be killing people off, no mercy. And the last episode I saw, the kids were burnt. So I'm like, hey, I text my coworker. I'm like, I need to know what happened.
Oh snap!
For real,
I'm
for real.
sorry. My bad.
It's okay. I'm glad to know that he becomes the king. All right, moving on.
Commandment number 9, thou shalt get them sit-ups right and tuck your tummy like this, do your crunches like this.
What
You know,
song is
right?
that?
What?
Kanye
West workout plan.
Workout plan. Yo, it's summertime.
I don't support
It's summertime.
This is
Kanye Sunday service.
I do remember it, but I
Yo.
didn't remember at the top of my mind when you guys were saying
They're still
it.
touring with Sunday service. Yo, it's summertime. Follow Kanye's workout plan. Anyway, commandment number 10.
Okay, for I our final commandment. All of our listeners out there and all of our supporters, thou shalt like, love, comment, or share this live show right now. And
You
we
there.
said right now, hey, you there. Share this show right now. Share with us.
Share
Write a
it,
review.
like it,
Rap
love,
us,
comment.
yo.
Thank you.
Written there.
Right there.
Written there. Like my
Right
granny.
there.
All right, and those were the top 10 DM commandments for this week. Things you need to live by 2019. Y'all, we're going to be opening up the phone lines real soon. Do you agree or disagree with laws banning abortions? All right, but before we get into that, it's now time for Quickies. Quick news segment. Trending news going on with OPP. Can we get a real sexy?
Y'all still make me laugh with this.
Get on that show. Come right
It's
there.
awkward.
It is. It's very awkward.
Make me some eggs.
So, you guys, these quickies this week are basically shout outs to the scholars that we have here in the city of Memphis. The first one, LaMiracle Harris, who received more than $1 million in scholarships from at least 25 colleges and universities, and she put in that work. She is from Trezvant High School, and she basically turned her negative into a positive. I want to do a little shade kind of piece because I am highly upset for Channel 3 News, the way they reported her story. She is the first in her family to go to college. She received over $1 million. Instead of them applauding her for that, they threw out, that she was pregnant. So they kind of took her glory and fame away. But on here, on Dear Millennials, we gonna applaud you, girl. LaMiracle Harris received $1 million in scholarships, and she is going off to college, is what they should have said.
Wow.
So yeah, they put a negative spin on her story. She
That's
was
the
on
news stations
It
for
is.
you.
It is. They put a negative spin on her story, and she came out and kind of just talked about how upset she was. So, LaMiracle, we got you. We see you. And congratulations on that $1 million scholarships.
Shout out to you, boo.
Shout out. And also, again, another scholar, valedictorian Tupac Mosley, received more than $3 million in college scholarships. This valedictorian is a student and past graduate from Raleigh, Egypt High School. Mosley graduated with a 3.4 GPA, all the while being homeless. His family, yes. His family went into some financial issues, was thrusted into some financial issues throughout his collegiate high school career. But in his speech that he gave during graduation, he said, "Never let your current circumstances outgrow your process and stop you." So shout out to you, Tupac Mosley, and for all the great students that graduated this past month. We see you, SCS. So keep up the good work. We appreciate you. That's all I have for this week quickies, y'all.
Can I say something really quick? F your brother for saying I'm canceled for not knowing the Kanye West song. I'm coming in the comments. Don't come for me because I know how to hold it down for myself, and I'm about to tell you all. Give me just a little second.
Give me a little, my brother.
Let me find it. Yes, he
Let
said,
me see.
She don't know that song. She canceled. Nah, Ariel, you canceled.
No, I'm not okay.
All right, y'all. Thank you, OPP, for Quickies. Now it is time for Hood Code with McLovin.
Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
awesome.
It is I, the priest McLovin, giving you the hood codes to the street. Grab your damn hood Bibles
Okay.
and turn with me to Dougie Fresh,
Aw.
6 and 17. And it reads, "I ain't hood if your house doesn't have the two following things. 1, Fabuloso boiling on the stove.
Oh gosh.
And 2, Comet sprinkled on your sink, toilet, and tub, and left there to season like chicken." Ladies and gentlemen, you kicked it with McLovin for your hood code. Have a lit ass week.
Fabuloso.
Yes.
Boiling.
So first of all, both of those are very necessary.
Yeah. Fabuloso and
Fabuloso and Comet, that is how you clean your home.
That's honestly all you need.
So I don't consider that a hood. You know, I think
boiling it in the pot is good.
But you need the aroma to get around the house.
We get it. In college, people would claim that doing so would make your food taste like Fabuloso.
No, you have to use a specific pot.
Yep.
You do not cook in all your pots.
No,
you
talked
don't
about
do
clean chicken, so.
Well, there it is.
All right.
All right, thank you, McLovin. Hood Code. Yo, we're going to be opening up the phone lines real soon. What did I just say? We're about to open up the phone lines real soon. Do you agree or disagree with laws banning abortions? We want to hear from you. We're going to open up the phone lines real soon. And right before we do that, all right, it's time for Living Single with Miss Mary Jane. And we're living, single.
Ooh, in the 90s kind of world.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got my
niggas. Nigga.
All right. So today's Dear Millennials Living Single topic is more of a question. And I was just sitting and thinking about conversations that I have with my girlfriends, conversations that I have with just people, millennials, about dating and how it has drastically changed for us. And the question that I came up with, is dating even worth it anymore? You know, just think about that. Think about your dating experience. I don't know where you all are in your dating journey, but as I think about mine, and as I think about the stories that I've been told from my girlfriends, I think about like, hey, is dating even worth it anymore?
Define dating.
Just getting to know other people, pursuing other people, liking other people, being attracted to other people, holding expectations because wherever you are in your dating situationship with other people. And so I came across this question because of several things. And I'm just going to just say them out and we can just go from the topic of, go to a discussion from these topics or bullet points. Men have options to choose from. That's one. Y'all have plenty of options to choose from, which I think makes dating now hard. Like back in our grandparents' generation, kind of, sort of, even our parents, like they didn't have social media where they could just choose from somebody that was across the country or in a whole nother state. It was like you meet somebody, you fall for them, and that was that. For us, it's kind of like, women too. We got some options. All right, the next was men prefer to have their ducks in a row before settling down. Hey, that's just that. The average marriage only lasts about 5 years. That's scary. All right. And I don't even know like what the statistics are for when those type of people get married, but the average marriage does not last long. Like think about from our own, not yours, but our own households where we grew up with single mothers. Most available men don't want to marry. They want to spend their 20s blowing money and being intimate with several women. That's just true. Like, even just like dating, like going back to the options, like it's too many freaking options out here for them to just be effing women. All right. There's a world full of, stop laughing. There's a world full of single millennials. While we have the millennial couples, that's great. It's beautiful and everything. But we have far more single people out here in this millennial world than we do millennial marriages. And when you think about it, we call it marriages because it's like we also grew up in a sense where people were getting married around our age and we're not getting married at that age. So that's why I say that. We come from single parent households. We were raised by single parents, whether it be your father or your mother, or you were co-parenting. So we were raised in that type of household where it was like you didn't really see the marriage life. Like I can't remember when my parents were really married, Like I remember when the fighting and stuff began, but I don't remember, like, I don't know. I didn't grow up in a household where I knew what love looked like. So you got to think about that. Cheating, all right? We talked about cheating. People, I can't go too much further with that. And what parents say to you about relationships. Like, even growing up, they tell you not to be in a relationship. That's understandable. You're a kid. But even now, as an adult, my mother tells me to have friends. So it's just like, where do you go from there?
So which question are we going to start on?
Whatever touched you.
So I want to start on what your parents told you about relationships. My parents know and view that, they won't live forever, and that they tell them it's necessary that I find someone special that'll take care of me, that'll love me, and I do the same. So, but before I do that, I need to make sure I'm in a place that's stable and ready. Like, this is so funny because my mother was talking about this the other day. I'm so serious. She was like, she don't call me she calls me a weird name that I'm not going to say. I'm serious. It's so embarrassing. She's like, you're getting older. Are you thinking about marriage? Do you want to be married? What are you thinking about, because you're getting older? What are you looking for? Because my mother, she is my right-hand man. I promise you, mama will find me somebody that I'll actually like. So they kind of, they talk about it. And my father even talked about it with my brothers. That's why they really don't play around too much. Like, although my brothers, are very handsome, it's very seldom that they'll just be out there just dating, because my father has already instilled that in them. It's important for you to find somebody and you guys spend the rest of your life together.
Well, and speaking of dating, and I want to address one point. My mother always told me to play the field. Well, especially like when I was younger in high school, and not to get too serious. I don't know if that was because of pregnancy rates, or like the likelihood. Let's be honest, when you in love with somebody, you deep in.
Yeah.
All right. No pun intended. I'm just kidding. But one thing, Mary Jane, I thought about that you said. I feel like, in McLovin, I don't know if you will agree or disagree, or ladies, how you feel. I feel like men have mastered the art of dating. All right, we've mastered the art. No, listen. We've mastered the art of not putting our eggs in one basket. So if he's hitting you up, he's being persistent. Please believe there are probably 12 girls that he tried to initiate something with, and they, they got left on red.
Y'all hear
like
that?
we know we will continually pursue.
You are in rotation
one
for the
after
good morning tips.
No, I'm just saying, because we know, and then I feel like women are more selective than me.
Yeah.
So and I think so it's weird. It's like I know the ratio is weird, but like you all are more selective, and maybe that's because we have more options. But yeah, that's how I feel.
Well, I'm gonna say this also. My parents was different. My mom was like, "You better not bring all these hoes to my house." I remember I brought this one girl I was dating one day. I told my mom, "Hey, look, this is my girlfriend." Then the next maybe month, I brought some other girl. I was like, "Oh yeah, she just one of my friends." And my mom looked at me. She was like, "Oh no," she busted me out in front of that girl. I was like, "Oh no, this girl can't come up in here." So my mom has always been the, find you a nice lady, settle down, monogamous type stuff. But I feel like men do have options, but women are just so picky. So yeah, it might be a million women, but all those million women don't want me.
No, I think the thing is, you have all these women that want you, and you have options to choose from.
Women aren't as expressive.
But understand that most all women feel like, oh well, he look like he got all the women, so I don't even want to talk to him.
Because first of all, can I make this biblical reference? He who finds a wife finds a good thing.
And that's why we out here.
But are you men looking for a wife?
No, not right now.
Yes.
When? Why are you lying? Y'all lie too damn.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know this was the Cleo show where you can read people's minds.
I'm reading it because you're lying. Look.
Tell me what's on your mind, child.
Stop lying.
I am
My
Cleo
thing
O.
is this, and that's another thing. Women and their assumptions sometimes can definitely, cut men off.
Look at him.
Why
y'all always trying to play victim? I'm gonna.
Why y'all always?
Why you trying to make it?
Because y'all are.
Look, men gonna tell us.
We're looking for.
Men are going to tell you what they want, and then either you decide to offer that or not. The ball is in your court.
The problem is the ratio of men who don't want anything compared to the men who do want somebody is very low. So more than likely, you're going to come across those guys each and every time that you meet somebody that says that Wait, because I feel you coming. I feel your energy. More than likely, Shut up. Stop. More than likely, you're going to come across somebody that does not want to settle down, and they're telling you they're interested when they're really just interested to have sex with you or waste your time or keep your company. No, you're more than likely going to come across that. You can't tell me as a woman what you're going to experience.
Here she go.
This is
Okay, let's be real though. Out of that guy that you chose, is maybe your discernment is off. Maybe you choosing the wrong ones that's constantly in your inbox. I'll never forget. I had a friend named Carmelita. This is how I realized like women.
Call people names out.
Look, I'll never forget Carmen. So we were like goofy. We were young, so we would do the stuff like, "Hey best friend, go on my Facebook, do this." I went on her Facebook. I will never forget this. She had 263 inbox messages, and this is like 2010. So women are sought after. They pursue so much.
Hold up. Just because
you're choosing, those are options.
No.
That's a guy potentially looking for his wife.
Because there's a meme out here. No, it's not. Every man that says that they're interested in you does not value you. So that's where the problem comes in.
So is your discernment off? Are you choosing the wrong one?
She obviously ignored 210, right? She did not entertain them, right?
But also, those might be been one of her husbands.
Whatever.
She wasn't discerning.
So the question is dating even worth it anymore? And when I say that, it's just like, I know a lot of people do not focus on dating, but we want it, you know? We want it. We don't focus on it, but we want it. And it's kind of like, should you just because like I told you guys earlier, after you're 25, your possibility of being married then comes down to like what? You're probably not going to achieve that until like in your 30s.
I think women have this clock, and I think they become more.
I was just stating the facts. It ain't about a clock.
Okay.
I think women have this clock, and the older they get, the more.
But we also cannot have babies after a certain time.
I mean, I get that.
Okay, so
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I think that's just how like women think.
So my thing is this: 1, why are you dating? 2, and are you dating with a purpose and intent to get married? So, and that's the biggest thing, because that's a separate world. I feel like when you are dating with a purpose and in the intent to get married, your energy shifts and your focus shifts. So you just won't be going out with any old body willy-nilly. And if that is your intention and purpose for dating, be upfront with it.
I'm not saying don't trust that's what I'm saying. I think
be upfront
there's a challenge with discerning who is the right one.
And no, if you just be upfront with why you're dating.
But women don't give every guy that opportunity.
Whatever, y'all. Women don't.
I'm not on my
opportunity.
Look,
we being real.
So understand
y'all don't want to be chasing the wrong ones.
Understand, men ain't shit, and we can admit that. But then also understand that women don't want no nigga. All right.
Stop it. First of all, I feel like if you're upfront with your intentions on why you're dating,
that's all you gotta do.
It'll make dating worthwhile.
And women have to stop assuming what his intentions are and not asking. Okay, I never like to generalize. Some women need to not assume what his intentions are. But so you're assuming, we talking. He want me to be wifey. He want me to be.
No.
Yes, you do.
Probably because what you're telling the chick.
No, that's what. Okay.
My thing is
communication.
It is communication is key, but just know that women have ideologies in their head too when they step to a brother. It ain't always one-sided. So sometimes if you know you gonna play, that's all you finna do is play. We don't care.
At the end of the day, it goes back to all
Stop it.
At the end of the day, it always comes down to the point of communication, telling people what they want. Just be upfront and be like, hey, look, this is what I want. I want some pussy. What's up? You good? And if you say no, you say no.
Nah, men afraid of that. They gotta actually lie to you, all right, to get the pussy. That's what y'all do.
Some women might be.
Y'all know how to caress correctly to make sure that y'all get it, and then y'all go ghost.
No, I'm like, hey, look, this is what I want to do, and if you cool with that, you cool with
No,
that.
I have men who actually had to like chase.
You don't have to lie.
They had
That's
to
why
chase
women don't
me.
like that.
And then when I finally give in and allow you to get to know me and give you some time, then you start acting funny. So it's not like you don't give people the chance. So we can go ahead and move on from this topic.
Yeah, James. I'm just kidding. I don't know who James is.
I'll play
I was just talking.
Never did.
Yeah, Deli Man.
Y'all gonna stop bringing Deli Man into this conversation.
Y'all better stop.
There is no freaking Deli Man.
Okay,
It's
I'm
the Deli Man.
serving that meat.
I hate y'all.
What's going on with y'all today?
Oh man, that reminded me of this disgusting story, but I can't say it.
Yeah, don't. All right.
First time
That concludes your Living Single segment for today. Thank y'all for participating.
Thank you, Mary Jane. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dear Millennials, a lit ass podcast. If you're watching our Facebook Live, thank you for tuning in. Keep commenting, liking, sharing, loving. All right, episode 14. Does America hate women? And since the man can't make one, he has no right to tell a woman when and where to create one, in the words of Tupac Amaru Shakur. So, with so much controversy surrounding these anti-abortion laws, it's time to read between the lines. All right, why are men making laws about women's body? All right, does America hate women? Do anti-abortion laws scold and discipline women more than men? All right, does it not take two to tango? How does America's abortion laws compare to other governing societies? And like, what do anti-abortion laws really mean for women living in America? We're gonna open up the phone lines real soon. 901-457-4677. Do you agree or disagree with laws banning abortions? All right, so for our conversational piece today, first let's go do a quick whip around. What are our thoughts? McLevin, we'll start with you. All right, how do you feel about the current abortion or current anti-abortion laws?
I'm definitely pro-choice. I, as a man, cannot tell a woman what to do with their body. And to have these people in office, majority of them men, white old men who look like they pay for pussy, tell women what to do with their bodies, then it's just ridiculous. So
interesting. I as well. I'm pro-choice. I don't feel like I feel like this is a double-edged sword. Because when I say this, I'm kind of contradicting this ideology. I don't feel like anybody has the power to play God. So on one end of that, though I'm pro-choice, on one end of that is like, man, governing bodies should not be able to dictate what a person does with their body, all right, especially when it comes to keeping a baby. Then on the other end of that, it's like that same idea of not playing God. A couple, a man and woman, or a man or one, whatever, wanting to have an abortion, I feel like they as well are somewhat playing God. Though we're granted free will, if you're, so that's I'm a little conflicted.
Definitely against it. At first, when I heard about the states, Georgia was the first that I've heard. I've always knew that this was on the Republican agenda, but when I first heard about it from Georgia, it was just like, hey, here goes another law that just is stupid to me. And then didn't really hit it to me until I started noticing all these other states falling in line, and I was thinking, oh well, guess we got to be more careful. But then it's just like, actually, no, if you are actively sexual, even in a marriage, it's not easy to just be careful, and then we talked about this on the last episode. It's just like a woman doesn't necessarily know that she's pregnant before 6 weeks of being pregnant. So what about the married couple that already has 4 kids and they can't afford another mouth to feed? And then of course you got to include the rape victims or the people, it's not fair. I'm definitely pro-choice, but it's just completely not fair to me.
And you spoke about the state. So according to CBS, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, Ohio, and Alabama have all passed policies and laws that ban abortions when a fetal heartbeat is detected. And I believe it said that Missouri and
Utah.
Arkansas, Utah, Louisiana too, right?
Yep.
Are said to sign a similar bill later this week. I just wanted to mention that, and OPP definitely as one. Like, what's your responses? What do you think?
So, I'm a little conflicted. I'm gonna be honest because during undergrad, I was a healthcare major and I had the opportunity to intern at a clinic. I'm not gonna say it because it's in the city of Memphis. So we all know the name of the clinic. So I had the opportunity to intern at the clinic, and it just changed my perspective completely on abortions. During my experience there, sometimes we had repeated customers.
Wow.
And for me, I'm like,
Meaning like they've kept coming back. Okay.
yeah. You what? A repeated customer here? This is not a clothing store.
What was the demographic of that customer, though?
Who
Who were they? What was their job?
So I
What were they
cannot
doing?
reveal all of that information because under FERPA I signed it, but
But you got to consider that too.
yeah, you have to consider that too, the demographics and population. But for me, repeatedly, that's like one of the things. Like, I completely understand this is your body, but you also have to be, an advocate and take care of yourself and your body. That is your responsibility. So for you to be a repeated customer at this clinic, it just I'm just like, what? Honestly, after a certain number, I feel that it should be a ban. After working there, it should be some type of, you cannot. I just feel like, wow, a repeated customer, and these individuals, it was not like no 1, 2. It's 3, 4. I'm like, no, because I was there for a while. I'm just like, I don't know. I know this is your body, but I feel after a certain amount, there should be something set in place, some type of classes, some type of educational resources, so these ladies will know what they're actually doing, getting them something. I feel like something should be shared.
As a
I don't
woman,
know.
you remind me of the women legislators who actually signed in on the abortion restriction laws.
Which go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, like I said, you remind me of the women who signed in on the abortion restriction laws in Alabama. It was written by Terry Collins and signed by another woman, then followed by the 25 male voters. So your perspective is actually quite interesting, but I hear you saying a lot of like the repetitive abortions. But just to put that out there, it wasn't just men. Yeah, it was majority men who were fighting for this, but I'm curious to know the motive behind the 2 women in Alabama who were also supporting it.
I think they were the figurehead. I think
definitely
that governing bodies are they're smart enough to know that, hey, if this comes from a woman, there's kind of less
pushback.
Less pushback.
That did not get achieved.
What I think is interesting and would love to see as we're banning abortions and you're talking about what I hear is there not being as us not being literate in terms of our options.
Yes,
and
that's
so
the thing. Like,
does this mean? And so if I think about somebody who may have gotten their tubes tied, I think of somebody in the middle class, probably not somebody below the poverty line. I'm not saying everybody that gets abortions are under the poverty line, but you have to have insurance to have that type of procedure. I can only imagine how expensive it may be to get your tubes tied, right? Because that sounds like the only option to not getting pregnant.
Yeah.
no,
or
it's
having
not,
to
because
avoid.
it's many contraceptives out there. So you have a lot of things out there that can prevent you from getting pregnant. What is that, like neuroplast things that you can get in your arm?
The little bar.
Yeah, the little bar you can get in your arm. It's also, of course, birth control. You have condoms. I think
but
sex education.
what about the people that don't want to use it? Because I refuse to use that stuff. I feel like it does something for your body that I feel like is unhealthy to me. So what about the people that can't or don't want to use those?
Yeah.
And there's natural ways that you can do it. I ain't gonna say it on ever. I'm a school you. Look, it's natural ways. It's natural ways that you can do.
But I'm also saying,
look,
yeah, you
my
got
mother
these
is
options,
very
also,
neuropathic too. It's natural ways you can do this, but look,
what?
It's natural ways
Drink
that you can
some vinegar.
Yeah.
That's one thing is you can drink some vinegar. I don't know if you guys heard of golden seal. You can also take a dab of that.
I'm not doing
and
it
you
myself,
can take what's that magnesium and echinacea. You can take some of that too. So it's natural ways. It's like you just have to educate yourself.
I listened to this podcast called Corey Holcomb 5150 Show. And dude, Corey Hogan, he's a comedian. He was like, man, Walmart and Target about to sell the shit out some hangers. I was like,
Exactly. Like,
okay, was that a little dark? I'm sorry.
That was more dark.
It was.
all right.
Anyway, I thought that was funny. Well, I mean, you talked about people.
Natural ways.
You know,
we are definitely gonna touch on that. So let's go ahead. We're definitely gonna touch on that.
All right. And so if there's not an option, right? If you're not utilizing those other contraceptives, there are extreme consequences for going ahead with an abortion. And what?
I was gonna say, let's talk about other countries though who have those abortion restriction laws first, and how they've had alarming restrictions. So we have El Salvador with abortion restriction laws, and how they're actually even punished for any suspicious act of an attempted murder or even for hiding a pregnancy, which can include to a neglect to having hospital visits. So you also have the Dominican Republic with abortion restriction laws, also Ireland and North Ireland and many more. But it's just crazy that, we say that we're a free country, all these things that we've been claiming our country to be, which no longer I feel exists. And now it's just like, first, we were fighting for women's rights. Then all of a sudden this happened. It's kind of like you're taking it back from us,
Well, I think what's interesting, some justifications for this law, it's been said that, and I quote this from, what source is this? Sorry. From Quartz publication. It says, I had it. So this is a law aimed at doctors, but one that strips women of multiple rights. The right to control their bodies, their productive choices, and their own future to start with. It was written, however, by a woman, State Representative Terry Collins. So what I think is interesting is that the justification for these bans are, this is something to discipline the doctor. And one thing that I found, the Alabama legislation, it passes. It says that it's called. They signed a heartbeat bill, which essentially says that it restricts doctors' abilities to provide abortions past around 6 weeks of pregnancy. But also, any doctor that performs this outside of the legal parameters could face up to 99 years in prison.
Yeah.
But they don't know if that'll be signed into law yet.
So let's talk about the contradicting things with the abortion restriction law. So we got one, you're forced to give birth, but there are policies in place that are denying people from adopting and fostering based on income and stability. So it's like at this point, we can't have abortion, but then you're forced to have it. But then it's like, how do you take care of the child once the child is born?
For me, what's been the most challenging one is like different legislation suggesting that, hey, this is a gift from God, blase, blase. And this is like coming specifically from southern states where it's like, okay, if Christianity is, if Christianity is, kind of, I guess, a justification that's being used for this ban, are we also living out all of those doctrines in every other facet of our society? Right. Whether it be, go ahead.
And not only that, still contradictive. where we try to separate church from state. They try to put, religion into the reason why we should pass these laws when, in actuality, that's not supposed to happen. So,
let's talk about where people are resembling the abortion restriction laws with the communist area Romania test to actually increase population. I'm really alarmed by the motive of our government for wanting to do this. I know in Romania it was to increase population. I can't see that being a reason for United States, because for one, increasing population causes far more problems than what we are already dealing with. For one, like they're claiming to want to be pro-life, but we have situations like Black Lives Matter. We have situations where we're building a wall to keep people out of our country. I don't see how that aligns with pro-life. Pro-life for who is my question. And it's just like, you can go ahead.
No, and we want to know from you all. Go ahead and start calling in 901-457-4677. Do you agree or disagree with laws banning abortions? All right, we're seeing a lot of feedback from our Facebook Live. Thank you. Go ahead, call in, y'all. Be heard. 901-457-4677. Do you agree or disagree with laws banning abortions? All right, thank you, Mary Jane. Just had to plug that.
No problem. But let's think about, so with the communist era of Romania, it was unsafe for the women who were getting pregnant. There were many reasons, all right? So the women had an increase of infant mortality rate because of this, because they were finding other means of aborting the children that they did not want to bear. Wow. Another thing is it wasn't really like a strike, but they were afraid to have sex with their husbands, all right, for panic of fear of getting pregnant. And then when you think about it, for us, like living in today's world, having a pregnancy that you don't want can cause hate and resentment on the child. Kids placed in orphanage, so it's like, and then leading to mental health issues. So it's like, I don't see this benefiting even our future kids because of not having that choice to have the baby. I don't see it benefiting women in the future. I don't see it benefiting the kids. So what is the purpose behind doing this?
Well, I mean, to play devil's advocate, the child will now have life.
So, yeah, because my biggest thing is, just from work, interning, where I intern, I'm always just curious, why?
Why have the abortion?
It's several factors and several reasons why. But if you're a repeated customer, why?
So yeah, I don't know anything about repeated customers.
I would say
you do because that's your internship.
Exactly.
I know, but that is a question.
Perspective. I guess it's a different perspective when you actually in it, and that's the thing I get, because it wasn't me, but I was actually in it. From some women, I can definitely understand where they were coming from, but for others, I'm just like, nah, you look, you need to.
So we can already go ahead and say that people need to be responsible of their sexual intimacy in their decisions, because we all know what the consequences of having unprotected sex. Is
that really a consequence, though? A child is not a consequence.
A consequence is a consequence. You know what happens after the decision you make. Right. Don't put negativity on the term consequence, though.
If, of course, it's just a result.
Okay, maybe we should say result.
Okay,
result. Let's use result.
That.
Okay. I didn't think of consequence as negative in this situation, but result can be better. But yeah, we all know what happens after you have sex. There are two ways you can go. You either get STD because you have protected sex, or you can have a baby. And that's what happens.
And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, y'all should just give it. All right, that's it.
And you know what? One thing I want to mention, there's a responsibility on the male part.
It is.
Because, I think men have more power of impregnating a woman as opposed to a woman using a man to impregnate herself. I mean, at the end of the day, right, there's a term, pull out game strong, pull out game weak, right? If you're not pulling out, if you allow that pre-cum to get up in there, doc, I know that's a little graphic, but no, men need to be held just as accountable. Of course. Should a woman have to worry that much about a man being responsible enough to take it out and not orgasm or ejaculate inside of her.
Of course.
My thing,
I feel like the attack is on women, and I even feel like with some of what I hear you all say, it's kind of more so holding the woman responsible, and I'm a little challenged by that.
So my thing is, like I said, the circumstances, because where I intern, you see some of the dudes in there with them. What you mean? So both of them being held responsible. They both sitting in there with him. Like, this is this.
Or the man is the one who influenced the woman more than likely to have the abortion. You guys know how that goes.
Exactly. So it's just like both of you. So
why you slapping me?
That was a jab. Y'all didn't want to take it.
For me, the man is just as responsible for this as the woman.
All right, so what do y'all think about this? I keep going back to what's the purpose of having this abortion law? I was speaking to a close friend of mine, and he was saying how, all right, what about the reason for it? Because when you think about it, who's getting the abortions? But mainly black people can't. You talk about your repeated customers. I'm assuming that they're black women, but majority of black people, low income communities, cannot afford to have abortions, especially not repetitive abortions. So, I mean, he could have been reaching, but I want to know you all's thoughts. Could it be because the white community are trying to increase their population because now we are coming from minority to majority, and they could be coming from majority to minority? What do you guys think about that? Is that an alternative agenda? We always talk about being woke, so I don't want to make it that type of case.
Well, it is.
But can you think about it like that?
No, that's real. Understand, first of all, we got nothing but all these old white men pushing these laws, talking about, hey, look, we need to stop aborting kids. I don't know the statistics, and I need to go back and check, but I would assume, these abortions come from white people. And the reason why I say that, and I read a post, shout out to my girl, London Lamar, state representative of Tennessee, District 91. She made a post or shared a post about how abortion saved so many people's, I guess, quote unquote, lives, in the sense of being tied down to a child, knowing that they might be forming this $1 million company, and now they might have to share some of the shares with the baby that was made illegitimately, And in my opinion, that is definitely the act of white people. They're trying to, get the white basketball team back together. So, but I think we got a call. All right.
All right, yo, Dear Millennials, a Lit Ass Podcast. Who's on the line?
Pizza.
Say that name one more time.
Hold on, I gotta go somewhere where can't nobody see me because I'm at work.
Oh, you shout out to your lit ass job.
All right, Felicita. So tell us what you think.
So, do you agree or disagree with laws banning abortions?
I disagree with the ban on abortion.
Why?
I think a woman and her family have the right to choose. And that's between a woman and her doctor. Because it's her body. Pregnancy isn't just, you're pregnant. Like, pregnancy takes a toll on your body. Like, it literally changes your body. Some women, their hair falls out, your teeth can fall out, your bones can become brittle. You develop gestational diabetes, and then you're a high-risk pregnancy, which means you could possibly die when you give birth. Wow. So, there's just all these dangers associated with pregnancy that we don't talk about. And not even just that, but also with, having a pregnancy, carrying a pregnancy to full term, and you weren't healthy during your pregnancy. That also puts the child at risk for several other diseases and infant mortality.
Yep.
I agree with that. I do. Thank you, Felicita, for...
Thank you, Felicita. I'm just kidding.
You're welcome.
Yo, thank you for calling. And you actually closed us out on a good note. Thank you, Felicita, for calling. Have a great rest of your shift.
Don't get
Thank
fired.
you.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. So, Dear Millennials, a Lit Ass Podcast. All right. Does America hate women? Hope you've enjoyed episode 14. Before we close, we just want to send you out with some words of encouragement. It's now time for our Dear Millennials open letter with your girl. OPP.
All right. Dear millennials, don't be afraid of change. I know change can be tough. It's not always graceful nor enjoyable. Change can be painful and terrifying. But when that happens, it's okay. Like Beyonce said, you have 24 hours to mourn and to get back up. So after, you go through this change that's not so great and enjoyable, get your ass back up because it's time to go to work. It's time to put in that work. So embrace change and possibility, good or bad. And the word in millennials, in the great words of Tupac, keep your head up.
Keep your head up.
Yes.
Yo,
keep your head up.
Thank you, OPP, our Dear Millennials Open Letter. Thank you for tuning in to episode 14, Does America Hate Women? All right, we are Dear Millennials, a lit ass podcast. Make sure you like, share, comment, love, reviews on Facebook.
Buy your shirt.
All right, buy a shirt. Yo, we got some really cool announcements coming up real soon. Make sure you stay posted on all our social media outlets.
Are we coming to the close of our season?
We are. Oh,
man.
It's
we are almost done. We got one episode left. Make sure you guys tune in, buy a shirt, because we got something very special coming up. If you are a customer, all right, if you bought a shirt, we got some appreciation opportunities for y'all.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It's your boy Top Rain Marvin Frank, singer, songwriter, educator, student to the game. Mama, I love you. Dad, I love you. Ken, I love you. Corn, I love you. Rest in peace to Miss Andrea Branch. We lost a soldier, but heaven gained an angel.
It's your boy, Make Love, and got these chicks straight out the oven. Educated, motivated, dark skin, drinking hand, teacher, preacher, got you dying, laughing, calling me the Grim Reaper. Because it's the bicentennial of Memphis, I also want y'all to know y'all can slob on my knob. Shout out to my baby mama. And always remember to be getting paid.
Nah, don't forget about Lil Chat, slab on my cat.
Thank you.
Don't forget about Lil Chat. All right.
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
Not to you. I was just, okay, I'm going to stop.
Just stop while you're at it. Okay. It's your girl, Mary Jane, Georgia Ray's Memphis Pay, book club creator, the woman storyteller, and your favorite around the way girl. I'm going to give a shout out to my little sister over there. She has visited me since last Monday. Yeah, I'm taking her back tomorrow morning. And speaking of, I want to shout out to Atlanta because I'm going back home. Georgia Ray's, yes. Memorial Day weekend. Shout out to all of the graduates in Georgia. I'm going to spend some time with my girls. Going to spend some time with my daddy, cooking some food. I'm just so excited to return home for the weekend. You know, I'm always home.
All right. And y'all already know who it is. It's your girl, OPP, a.k.a. South Memphis Queen, also known as the Memphis Finest. I want to shout out Gangsta Boo and Lil Chat because y'all had a heavy influence on my life when I was growing up. Yes, happy birthday, Memphis. Also, I want to shout out my little brother who's also an avid watcher and listener, Nate the Great, Josh, Sarai, Samaria, thank you guys for always tuning in and always being supportive. I love you guys.
Also want to make a last shout out. Shout out to Southern Road. They had their escape party.
Yes.
Hey, didn't want to embarrass herself, so she made me go and show some of my moves out there.
I cannot skate, y'all.
Road bounce.
Thanks, Southern Road, for inviting us out to
as we're mentioning that, I want to plug in. If anybody is interested in skating, please come and find me. I need a skate date. I don't want to go out there and follow my ass on my own because I've been trying to get back into that hobby. I used to love doing it as a kid. I'm trying to get back in, but I don't want to do it by myself.
Okay.
We need to make sure that we go to the East End Wednesdays and Sundays. Man, let's go. Turn out.
Hey.
Today.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Together we are Dear Millennials, a lit ass podcast. And make sure you have a
lit ass week. Young Dolph, 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah.
I love Dear Millennial Wednesdays.
Right. Dear Millennial Wednesdays. It's come
the best.
All right. Great and cut.
The preceding is an OM production. For more information, go to the OAMnetwork.com.